Hello, everyone. My name is Vlada, and welcome to our Polo Dubai podcast. And today it's episode number 5, and we have a very special guest, Dan Rosen.
Hey everyone! Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is fun.
It's also such an honor. You know, you're also my pole idol.
Stop.
Yeah.
I remember coming here like years and years ago and meeting you and Michelle and like, I don't even remember how many years. That was like pre-COVID. That must have been maybe
That
even
was like 10 years ago. I don't know.
More than that, I think. Maybe even 12 years ago.
Maybe,
God, it feels like forever ago, doesn't it? It's crazy.
I know. When we talk about these numbers, about how long we're doing pole for, it just feels weird, right?
Yeah, it does. I've been pole dancing since 2008. So
I started 2009.
that's crazy.
It's like half of life, no?
I know. It's like, do you ever sometimes feel like it's too long? I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. My body should not be doing this. Honestly, I'm gobsmacked my body is still doing it. Do you ever feel like that? Because I'm just like, how is my body still able to do this stuff?
Listen, I am 40 in 1 month.
But doesn't she look amazing, guys, for 40?
Aw,
Like, come
thank
on.
you.
Like, I mean, I'm 38. I'm only a couple years behind. But like, I think pole keeps us quite young.
Exactly. And then I actually say, like, I think this is also the reason I look like that, because half of my life I spent inverted, you know?
Right, exactly.
The blood
I
goes
think
down.
the blood, yeah, it goes to your face. That's
But
actually...
also you keep yourself fit, you know, your
Of
muscles,
course.
actually, like when your muscles are in a good shape, they prolong your, you know, your...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I
appearance.
truly believe that. I mean, like, if you look at any style of fitness, right, like all of the people that have like done fitness or are doing fitness, it does make you younger for sure.
Of course
it does.
yeah. And
It's
you
good
just
for
keep
you.
on going, and you can look after yourself,
Yeah.
right? Like also with the nutrition, and you try to eat better or stuff like this.
I always think about like what I would have looked like had I not found pole, because pole was like, for me, the only form of fitness that I ever really liked. I've not really, I mean, I go to the gym, but actually the only reason I go to the gym is to try and even everything out
Yes,
from pole,
yes,
because
true.
obviously it can be so top heavy and not very lower body. So I try to even everything out a bit.
Yes.
But yeah, I always think like, God, like I
Same
wonder what I would look like
thing,
had I
same
never
thing.
discovered pole.
Oh my God. Have you done also any, like, do you have any background in...
No, I always kind of like pride myself on being like, one of my like things that I'll always do in like an intro and stuff is that I'm like, I am living proof that you don't have to have been an ex-gymnast to do pole. And you're not an ex-gymnast,
Same
either, right?
thing,
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
I remember you telling me.
I had an amazing childhood of running around, you
Yeah.
know, climbing trees, but never had any gymnastic or ballet
Yeah.
or any background. I think I did like some dance classes, but that was just so amateur,
Right.
you know,
I
when
did
was
a
like
couple of
14 or
dance
15 or
classes.
something.
Yeah.
And then I had exactly the same thing. So I tried so many different sports, and then everything was just like, you know,
Yeah.
I had to force myself. And then I came to pole, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like when I was younger...
And until now, yeah.
I feel like when I was younger, I had like a natural kind of like gymnastic-y ability. Like I remember loving to do like, you know, like you say, like
Very
cartwheels
active.
and like I was
Exactly.
very
I was
active,
super
but like
active, yeah.
I just wasn't interested to like traditional sports. And like back when I was a kid, like gymnastics was not for the boys, it was for the girls. And like so they did the gymnastics.
But
We did like
artistic
yeah,
gymnastics.
exactly. So it was like just like floor, less artistic,
I see,
right?
yeah.
Like the
Artistic, yeah, it's like with the tumbling and all
tumbling,
that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like floor. So but yeah, so it wasn't really something that I ever got to do. I did a few dance classes later when I was in like 13, 14. But again, ended up moving home, kind of just didn't really get properly into it. So yeah, I'm always saying to people like, when they're like, oh, maybe I need to go and do this first. I'm like, no, you really don't, because I didn't.
Exactly. So you can see a living proof, 2 examples in front of you guys. We started pole. What's in sport considered to be too late.
Right, absolutely. Well, it
with
is.
no flexibility, with no strength. Yeah. So we had to learn everything from the scratch, and it is possible.
Yeah. And I think like we're doing stuff as well that, you know, it's not even like to say, how am I wording this? So like, you know, when like you would say, if you were to learn gymnastics now, like you wouldn't be doing some of the crazy flips and stuff. I find that when with pole, like you can even at a later age, you can still learn some
100%.
crazy stuff. Like
100%.
you'll be gobsmacked what your body can actually achieve.
Yeah, I often tell students, like, when you come to any other sport, do you expect like straight away? Of course
Right.
not. But then what are the chances? If you go to ballet class now, you will become a prima ballerina.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
no.
of course.
But then in pole, you can win competitions. We have students here who became instructors who are now in Cirque du Soleil and, you know, and other epic, you know, doing all the crazy stuff. So I actually feel like pole has much more to offer.
For sure.
And also because of all the different styles,
Right,
you can
and
also,
that helps.
you know, go where your soul wants, you know, or you can go here for some time, then you can go here, you can go to contemporary, you can go to exotic, you
Yeah.
can go to strength.
I
you
think
can go
that's
to
why I like
whatever.
it. And that's probably why I've done it for so long as well. I don't know whether you've gone like...
Me too. You know, I was
Like,
like a
yeah.
little bit like this. Yes.
I was sort of like, I was into my tricks and I was into exotic more. I feel like I'm back into tricks a little bit at the moment.
Yeah,
and then I'll
yeah,
probably go back to exotic. Like, yeah, I kind of go through little phases with it. But I think that's why I've managed to do it for so long. Because I think without that, it can get a bit repetitive and boring.
yes.
Especially when you become a teacher. It's actually a subject that I feel like I talk about a lot. But it's that whole thing of like, when you... For people listening or watching this, like if you are a pole dancer and you're like, oh, I want to have the goal of becoming a teacher, I always say like really think about it first, because actually like when it's your hobby, it's so great, and then when it becomes your job, it's no longer your hobby. So it's like you then have to start. So now this is actually why, and I know we're going to talk about it, but like this is why I've gotten into doing like stand-up comedy, because that's now my hobby.
Yes.
Whereas I lost my hobby years ago when I started teaching, and it
Yeah.
was like yeah, I don't know.
You have
It's
to
not that I don't love
learn
it.
to separate it and then learn
Exactly.
to spend enough time to your hobby.
Yeah.
Because what usually people do when they become instructors, they spend a lot of time or like teaching and
Yeah.
preparing for the
Of course.
for the classes, and then they stop doing this for themselves.
Yeah. And that's what
And
happened to me, and it happened
We've all
to
done that. yeah.
everyone. Everyone's been there, right? And then there was a
This
period
is how I
where
opened the studio.
yeah, but this is the thing. That's how I
I thought
opened my studio.
I'm gonna open the studio and I'm gonna go to all the classes. I'm gonna do all the classes, not teach. I'm gonna
Right.
do all the classes of everyone else for free.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have the most flexible time.
I think when I started my studio, because I didn't have anywhere to train for competitions. So I was like, first I need to find a space that I can train for my competition. So I did that first. And then I was like, oh, I'm getting demand for like classes. So I started teaching classes. And then that just started to consume more and more of my time. And then it's like, yeah, next minute, you know, you're running a full-time studio and you're
Yeah.
like, oh God. And it really is time consuming. I think we live in this dream world when you're first thinking about it. You're like, no, I'm definitely going to train. You are not. I'm telling you, like you have to be very disciplined with it. And eventually I was really disciplined with it. So after I realized how much it had affected like my level and stuff, I was like, right, I need to get back into training. So then I basically had time slots that were not bookable for privates, anything.
Amazing.
It was only for my training. I used to do 2 hours on a Tuesday and Thursday. And that was like my set training. I mean, nowadays, I'm lucky if I get once or twice a week. Like I always come here, don't I, on a Thursday. I train for a couple of hours every Thursday, and I'll try and do another session if I can. But it's hard. Like the older I'm getting, like, you know, you've got a kid now. Like it's just, we have other things. Life just starts to life, doesn't it? And you're like, oh, I just don't have time to train. It's hard. So yeah, but I think there is a balance, but you have to be very, very disciplined with it.
Yes, just set your mind and then have some willpower to actually implement it.
Oh my
right?
God, that's the hardest part, is the willpower as well,
Yeah.
especially when you're tired from running a business.
Yeah.
It's very
I
difficult.
was literally yesterday, I taught one class and there was another class that I really wanted to go. But then I was just like, okay, do I go to the hoop class or I need to prepare the socials for tomorrow for pole fit
Right.
and then also put my daughter to sleep at the right time. And I was like, okay, maybe hoop next time, you know? And then like
Right.
this all the time, you're like, damn it.
Of course. And I think as well, that's the thing, like, it's even harder with kids, right? So I don't have kids. So imagine for me, like, if it's hard for me, I can only imagine how hard it is for people with kids. Like, yeah, oh my God, thank God I don't have kids. I just have dogs, and that's perfect.
But you know what? Actually, you have 3 dogs, right?
3 dogs, yeah.
That's
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Well,
But
I
they're-
have 2 dogs and a baby. No.
You have 2 dogs?
I have 2 dogs and a
Oh, I
baby.
thought you just had 1 dog.
Yeah, 2. They're the same.
2 Chihuahuas?
No, 2 Yorkies.
Oh, Yorkies, that's it. I knew they're like
Yeah.
small little dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
So it's like also like putting on the 3 babies kind of.
Yeah. Oh, God. Crazy.
All right. So actually, there were some questions. We'll see
Yeah.
what we can do, what we can go through. So both me and you, we started Pole a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
You started in 2008. So if you look at pole industry, okay, how it's evolved, how it's changed, what do you think are the main differences between what was back then in 2008 and now? Like what changed?
I mean, obviously, just the industry is so much bigger, right? So it's just in terms of like, I mean, business-wise, the competition. There's so much competition for studios now, right? So that's one thing that's changed. I mean, back when I first started, I used to have to drive 45 minutes to get to a studio,
Yes.
and now fucking students, and I know people will be listening to this and they'll be like, I'd never drive 45 minutes. I used to have students at my old studio that wouldn't even drive 15 minutes to the studio. Like, oh, it's so far away. I'm like, bitch, I used to drive 45 fucking minutes to go to a pole studio. There was just no studios around. And so that's one thing that's changed. I think the industry is kind of like ebbed and flowed a little bit. Like 1 minute it's kind of like gone very much towards exotic. Then we've gone back to pole sports. Then we've gone back to exotic. And it's kind of like, it's always up and down. Like
Yes.
It just really depends like what's happening at the time as to what's really going to be popular. But like, yeah, I think as the industry has gone on, it's become less family orientated. And what I mean by that is that it used to be a very welcoming community. I'm not saying it's not anymore. It still is. But I used to find that the industry was very welcoming. It wasn't segregated. Whereas now we've definitely got segregation of community. Like it's very much like, I don't know if you notice this, but online it's very much like exotic versus pole sports sometimes, and they're always arguing.
And you're like, why, guys?
I know, I'm like,
come
why
on.
are we arguing about this still? Like, guys, come on, can we not just all be friends, like, and respect each other?
Yes.
Like, come on, it's a
And
tired
love,
argument.
even if you laugh at each other, sometimes it's okay, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like either like just respect each other and just like get along, or just leave each other alone. Like, but you know what it's like on social media. Like you see the stuff on social media, and you're like, God, it's changed so much because it never used to be like that.
That's actually what I want to ask you. So when we started, 2002, 2009, there was no Instagram yet.
Right,
Remember?
exactly. Well, when I first started, we had Facebook, obviously, so we were using Facebook.
Yes.
But I remember at the time we had YouTube, and there was a channel called Sonic Explosion. I wonder if it's even still exists. And it used to be what she used to do was take tricks and combinations from pole competitions of people like Felix Kane and Janine Butterfly, and she would play the clip of the combo and then she would like slow it down. That was my training video. So I was saving those. So that's how my training originally started, was save videos on YouTube. Then we moved to the 15 second clips.
It was 15 second clips. Yes.
So what the hell can you do in 15 seconds? And we used to like speed up our videos. So funny if you really think about it. But yeah, so a lot has changed. Obviously now people are making careers for themselves on social media. It's like,
because remember at that time when we started. So first of all, that time, if you did a handspring, you were like
were advanced,
super mega advanced person. If you did a deadlift, it was like elite. Okay. But the interesting is at that time I remember there was because there were people who really were developing at that time, and they were very well known, and we always knew who they are. They're like our pole idols. I don't know, my pole idols until now. I remember I watched my first 2 pole videos. It was Felix Kane and Janine Butterfly, and I was like, oh, what is this? On YouTube, right? Because again, there was no Instagram. And then we knew pretty much everyone, because they were at that time, it was competitions, right? And there were only like 2-3 competitions in the whole world, okay? And then we knew exactly who won, and we knew those people. And then like now, for example, I'm completely lost. Like there's so many competitions, there's so many things, which is great, gives so much opportunities to everyone. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, I'm like, with this champion, like, where? It's like you have to keep up, right?
Yeah, and it's hard because everyone is a champion now. And this is the thing, like back then, the world champion was the world champion. That was it. But now there's probably like 5 or 10 world championships of like different styles, and so there's so many world champions now. You know, when I think of world champions now, I think of people like, you know, Dmitry Polotov, right? I think of him, like the big names. But actually, even saying that, I'm just like, actually, he's like, who else like? It's really hard, isn't it? It's like recent ones. I'm like, there's so many, but I always just go straight to Dmitry because he's one of the most decorated like pole dancers of all time, really. Yeah. And like, it's so much harder because I'm like, Adam Lin, obviously Adam Lin's won loads of stuff as well, but like, it's really hard to be like, who is the world champion now? There isn't one. It's lots of different people. Exactly. So it's really difficult.
Do you think that nowadays students, they know the...
Absolutely not. Have you ever asked your students before? I did. It's embarrassing, isn't it? It makes me feel so old. Like, do you know who Alethea Austin is? Please tell me.
Yes,
yeah, of course. So Alethea Austin, like, that's because Alethea, I found like when I was like learning pole, she was a really big name, very active in the community. She has an amazing studio now in, I think, Texas, and I think she's focusing on business now, so I don't think she's really active on socials. I don't think I see her stuff anyway, but like I remember back then, like, everyone knew who she was, and now sometimes when I'm like, oh, I learned this years ago from Alethea Austin, and people are like, who's that? I'm like, what? It's insulting. I'm like, guys, these are like the pioneers of this industry. Exactly. Like, do you know what I mean? A lot of people still know who Felix is, to be fair, because I think she's still kind of active on the pole scene.
Maybe for us, not even, you know, you say like, oh, we have a pole idol. She's like, they're like, huh?
Right. Yeah.
So I think now people are more into, but at the same time, they're following a lot of other people. And I think it's just more, I think with the availability, right, of what we have now, it actually opens up so much opportunities for the students. They actually, like I had to struggle to learn, right, because I'm self-taught. I only went to class for like 3 months. Then I moved here and I trained on my own with the YouTube videos like this, you know, like okay, and I had to discover my own style, had to like understand those tricks, like fall off on my head, you know, like because I didn't know how to do them. But now I think it's just, I feel like it's amazing because there's so much availability, you know. People can just go or to the studio or online, and they can learn, they can find the style that they like, because, you know, like kind of like cool. And then they follow the one that they like, you know. If they like someone,
they can follow them,
That's it, you know, and then they get inspired by them. Great.
I think the good thing about it is that, because I always like, as most people know, if you don't, you will now. Basically, I do like a coaching for pole dancers who want to get better with social media. They want to start teaching workshops, all this sort of stuff. Because it's something that I kind of had to just navigate myself through. So I basically coach people on how I did it. And one thing that I always say is, like, you can build your career off social media. And the good thing about it is that you're able to tell people and give them a bit of a taster of who you are as an instructor. Whereas on the stage, you couldn't do that.
Exactly.
So now I feel like we're getting more, the people who are becoming big names are people that generally are quite good instructors. Because normally, a lot of the reason why they've gotten famous is because of their little mini tutorials and stuff.
I actually have this on my list because you've taught over 20,000 students now, right?
Probably is even more than that if you consider all the events and stuff online.
And years, right? So do you think, what do you think separates a great teacher from a great performer? And this is exactly what we came to, because one thing is to if someone can do a really good job on a competition, right? And then someone, you know.
I mean, I think it's very rare that you'll find both. That's the one thing. It's very, like, there are people that are really good at both and they're very confident in both. But generally, like, so many of the best teachers that I know are terrible performers, like, or are just not great at competitions, or they like freeze on stage and things like this. But as teachers, like they're amazing. You know, right, there you go.
And you just don't do very well. I have no idea. I won 2 competitions and I was like, done.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, I was just never again.
I mean, at the beginning, I loved competitions.
But
don't
you
get me
know,
wrong,
like for how many people also if they fail on competing, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're bad instructors.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely not, right?
And this is the thing, I think it's too, you can't really compare the two. I think they're just so completely separate. I think, you know, to be a good teacher, you need to have so many different skills to what you would need for performing.
Yeah.
So I think they're just two completely different things. I mean, especially if you're performing in front of like the general public like you do, I think it's like such a different confidence that you need. Whereas like to be confident enough to teach people in a group setting, I think is a little bit different. So I just feel like you can't really compare them because they're so completely different. But this is what I was saying, the whole social media thing I think is good because it's like, it's allowing people who maybe aren't confident enough to go to competitions still become well known without having to go and do competitions. Because that was the entry for us back then. Like I had to compete, otherwise I would never have been offered workshops. I wouldn't have been able to do all the stuff that I've been doing now. But oh my God, like now I'm seeing people who are just like really good on social media and I'm like, you are so lucky.
So lucky, exactly.
My body got destroyed by competitions. I wish I could have avoided that.
Me too. I had this 2 years, you know, when you like, at first the money you spend and everything,
oh my God, it's so expensive.
And then for me, it was always, you know, because you're preparing for competition and then you get like an injury, for example, and you push through your injury.
Right.
And then later on, it took me like 2-3 years to, you know, to heal those injuries because they became chronic because I was doing competitions.
Right.
And then, but at that time, exactly the same thing. And because it was 2012, 2013, because I just set up the studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when traveling on competitions, people also started to find out. It was like, oh, there's Dubai. We were like, oh, there's Polo in Dubai.
I know.
Interesting.
People still even say it to me now. They're like, there's Polo in Dubai. I'm like, yes. Yeah. I'm like, there is. I'm like, there's like people Polo in Dubai. It's okay.
At that time, it was just like, for me also, it was absolutely necessary because if you didn't get, at that time, if you didn't have any titles or something, then people are like, who are you? You know?
Of course, yeah. Which is crazy if you think about it, because nowadays it's like there's so many people that if you look at people like I know Marlo. I always use Marlo Fiskin as an example. Marlo is like super famous, obviously, but like she hasn't done loads of competitions. She has done competitions, but not loads. But I bet you any money, most of the people that follow her and are obsessed with Marlo, they wouldn't know what competition she's won because they were years ago. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, and same for me. Like, people wouldn't know what competitions I won. They were so long ago. Yeah. So it's just so different now.
I don't even remember. I was like, did it really happen?
Right.
It's so long ago.
It was so long
15
ago.
15 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy. But it's changed a lot, and I think it's for the best. But it's changed the industry a lot, but I think for good. I think.
Yeah. No, me too. I think we struggled so much, and I'm just happy, you know, when people even ask, like, we know the technique now. Like, we used to not train the second side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know for you guys.
Well, I had to start training my bad side because my body was getting so uneven.
That's exactly. So now the students come to my class, and I force them straight away to do two sides, and but they do it. But I know this is the best for them. It took me 3 years and one side to be higher than the other one to be like, maybe I should train the other side, no? Right.
So, well, back a long time ago, during COVID, I injured my back. And I injured it doing CrossFit. Don't do CrossFit, it sucks.
Me too, by the way. 2 times I went to CrossFit, 2 times injured myself,
I injured
never
myself,
again.
And I was like, never doing this again. It was so fun, actually, but my back was too weak for it.
Me too, I injured my back.
Yeah, I just injured my back. So where was I going with this? Yeah, before I actually injured my back, I used to do a lot of bending. So I used to do a lot of flexibility training. But again, I only trained one side. And actually, that caused me back problems because I was so flexible on one side, but on the other side I wasn't. So then my spine was slightly off. It just completely kind of like messed up my body. But this is all the sort of stuff that now students are so lucky that we have this knowledge.
Exactly. We have
back
the knowledge.
then we never used to do any of that.
No.
Oh God, like back then, if you'd asked me to do like a handspring on my bad side, I'd be like, what? Whereas now I can do all my handsprings on bad side. But you know, when you're like, back then I just would never have been able to, which is so bad. So bad.
So guys who have started pole recently or just starting now, use the mistakes that we've done. Use it.
Learn from our mistakes.
Learn from our mistakes. we kind of like tapped into it. We tried, and now you
We
guys,
learned the hard
yeah,
way
you
so
learned
that you
the hard
could
way, and
do
you guys,
better.
yeah, exactly, very lucky, yeah. Or like even when they come and we can give them the technique, how to do some moves and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
we had to like guess and think like,
Well, that's
how.
the thing. Like, I feel like even still nowadays, like as teachers, most teachers, when we're kind of trying to teach ourselves, but I think because we have that base already, we're able to decipher moves a little bit easier. When you're first starting, yeah, like these people who have like self-taught themselves, I used to get in so many bad habits when I first started because I was like having to watch videos. A lot of stuff, thank God, I got taught. So I did get taught when I first started. But yeah, there was moves that obviously that I didn't get taught that I had to try and teach myself. And oh my God, like my technique was terrible.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
now this is a good thing is that, you know, the students who are coming in now, they get to benefit from all of the stuff that we kind of had to
Exactly.
learn along the way. So that's
Exactly.
good.
And I think one of also the benefits, because as you said, you don't have any background. So because a lot of students come to us, majority of them, they're not professional dancers. They've never done anything. They just they just do maybe some fitness, or maybe they don't do anything at all.
Yeah.
And then we actually know how to build it in a way that they can do it without a prior experience, right? Or
Right.
prior background. So
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing for them, right?
yeah.
You get to benefit from all of our mistakes.
Yeah. All right. So also about the competitions. So did you actually enjoy competing?
That's such a tough question because yes, in the moment I stepped on stage, yes, but everything up to that, no. And that's the thing. And when actually when I look back, I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Because I just hated all of the run up to it. The only part I enjoyed was the stage.
The
That
3
was it.
minutes.
Yeah,
The
the
3 minutes of shine.
And then sometimes that would fuck up as well.
Yes,
Like
and you
you'd make
hated it.
and then you'd
Oh
be
my
like, well, this just
God.
was not worth it at all. You know what I mean? So yes, I love the stage, and it was like the feeling you get when you're on stage. You know it. It's like it's that adrenaline rush. You have so much fun when you're on stage, but the amount of stress, tears, like injuries, it's I don't know. Like that's why I don't compete now.
Preparing for competition looks like this.
Yeah.
This
This is the thing. The thing is the up comes to about here, but then the down goes down to like here. That's the problem. Is it's such a big down, and as well, like that's what I was saying. The 3 minutes as well, because post-competition blues is a thing as well. Because when you've been prepping for something for so long, you do that. Let's say 3 months before, where you're prepping everything, you're training, then you perform, then you get off stage, and you're like,
that's
oh,
it.
Oh my God, it's
That's
all
it,
over. Like
all
this
over.
is
Yeah,
like, what the hell am I going to do in my life now? So it's so, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's just very much like, I did enjoy it. I'm so glad I did it because I wouldn't have the career I have now without it. But it was a lot of stress.
Yeah. But I also think that you still get a lot of first when you pass this stage, it also kind of like teaches you a lot also about yourself, about the process, and you still get to your prime physique, right?
Oh, exactly. Oh, that's the one thing I will say, right? Oh my God, like I looked amazing when I was competing because nothing, like I could eat anything I wanted back when I competed because the amount of run-throughs I was doing, there's just no amount of food would have been able to keep up with the amount of training I was doing. It was crazy. So like that's the only thing I look back and I think, oh wow. But then I also think about all the injuries that I had, all the aches and pains. So you know, it's balance, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I look at the videos from those years. I was just like, man, I was strong.
Oh, I know.
My God,
crazy.
I managed to oversplit myself in like wowzers, right? And then lifting up, down, and I was just like, okay. But I kind of like much prefer now when you kind of like go, because that kind of also extreme, right? You can't really, it's very difficult to sustain that extreme, right? And then you go to this moment when you're like, yes, I am still flexible, I'm still strong, but
it's a reasonable amount.
But I am not overstressing my my mind, and then I can be in peace.
No, I agree, and I think like that's where I think that nice balance is. Like when you can get that nice balance where you're like, so nowadays I always say to people, I'm like, I can still do some really cool shit with my body, but like not the stuff that I used to be able to do. But actually, I feel like I've got a nice balance of it now. And also like, I know 38 isn't old, but like I am getting older and it is getting harder and recovery is getting harder.
Yeah.
I'm just really conscious of that. And I think, especially when you're a teacher, business owner, the last thing we can afford to do is injure ourselves, right? Because this is our one body that we have. And again, this is why I'm like, with my mentorships for the people that I help with social media and stuff, I'm always saying to them, like, you know, our business is so important because we're not gonna be able to do this forever. This is why I'm always like trying to teach people that we need to make as much as we can now from this industry, because there's going to be a time where our bodies won't be able to do this. And whilst you could still make some money from pole at that point, it's going to be very difficult to, if you are, you know, injured and stuff and you can't move your body. It'd be nice to be able to say, actually, my time's done now. I'm done. Which sounds terrible. I always feel like people think that I'm always trying to talk about like exiting the industry. I'm not. Like, I hope I can do it forever. But I just feel like, realistically, I feel like pole dancers, we don't think enough about the future. And I feel like we really need to start doing so. So, yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your studio. Of course, as a studio owner. So you said that you opened the studio and it was your place, and then you've been teaching. And then, as far as I know, that you also sold your studio, right? Yeah. So how did that go for you when you kind of like build it up as your baby, right? And then you like let it go. How did that go for you?
And it was also like, I had such a personal connection with it because it was my first ever business, and I consider myself like a business polar. So like, I'm quite business savvy, and it taught me a lot about business, and it was really hard to let go of, but I just knew that the time was right. And I had an instructor called Karen. Hi, Karen. And Karen, I always said to people, I was like, listen, guys, just so you know, if I ever leave this business, Karen's going to have it, because I just always knew that she was going to be next in line to take it, because she was so dedicated to the studio. So yeah, I ended up selling it to her, and she's still doing it now. It's a tiny little studio in a place called Hemel Hempstead in the UK, but it taught me everything that I know now about business, and it was such a pivotal part of my career. But really, I needed it because I needed it to train. That was the main reason I set up that space, because I needed somewhere to train for my competitions. So yeah, it was kind of an emotional time to close it, but I was traveling all the time. I moved about an hour and 15 minutes away from the studio, so I was only there like once or twice a week. I just felt like I was slowly distancing myself away from it. And I was literally teaching online Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was then doing classes at the studio Tuesday, Thursday, and then I was traveling on the Fridays to go and teach workshops. I had no days off, so I was like, right, I'm just gonna have one day at the studio. And then I was like, at this point, why am I still here? I just felt bad for the students. They weren't getting the same quality because I wasn't there often enough. So I just knew the time was right. So that's why I let it go. But yeah.
Well, good. It's good that it kind of like came to the point, like slowly, gradually. It's like,
it definitely happened. I didn't let it get to a point where it was like, there was resentment and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It felt right at the time. And I was just like, this
and it's still working and it's still there.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still like, I still have some of the students on my like Instagram and stuff, and I see what they're up to, and I still see what Karen's up to. So it's nice. I'm glad to see it's still going, because it was such a nice community of people. So yeah.
So you moved basically from physical teaching to online mostly, right? So you mostly teach online, right?
Yeah, my main job now is online. Obviously, I help out studios in Dubai if they need me.
But the online
I'm just
is the
like
main
backup. But online is my main thing. Yeah, so like online is my main thing. I teach Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my general days that I do, and I'll throw some extra classes in there as well. But yeah, basically during COVID, I did a free... So during COVID, I gained loads of weight. I went into a deep depression. I'm a very routine person. So when COVID came along and I didn't have my studio anymore, couldn't travel the world teaching, this was what I did all the time. So when that stopped, I went into this really bad place. And when that happened, I just ate my feelings and I gained so much weight. And I basically lost loads of strength. And I said... it was in like a December, just before Christmas, and I knew that Christmas, obviously, we're just going to all be eating more. And I just put a story on Instagram. I was like, is anyone up for doing conditioning with me every day? Like in January, let's do it as like a 31-day challenge. We'll all do 30 minutes together. We'll just do it on online on Facebook. I was like on Facebook, which did not work. I had to do it on Zoom in the end. So let's just do it on like on a live together, and we'll just copy along with me, and we'll just do some conditioning together. Well, 10,000 people later, I was like, okay, this isn't going to work on Facebook. I then tried to do it on Zoom. It didn't work on Zoom because you had like a limit of 100 people. And then another business reached out to me and was like, oh, we've got like a more advanced Zoom where you can have like a webinar where you can have like thousands of people. And I was like, okay. So I was like, literally, I was teaching thousands of people. Not teaching thousands of people. They were like joining along with this workout that I was teaching. They were just joining along on Zoom.
Wow.
And everyone enjoyed it so much. And we got so many amazing results from it that I was like, I need to keep this going, not just for them, but for me as well, because I got so much benefit from it. I got so much stronger from that.
Yeah.
So then I set it up as a business, and here I am. It's still going now. And like, whilst it's not as popular now as it was during COVID, because obviously everyone had to be at home,
Yeah.
it still does really, really well. So I'm
That's
really
good.
happy with it. Yeah, it's great.
How do you find the teaching online opposite to teaching physically?
Yeah, I know some teachers hate. Have you done it?
Yeah.
And do you find it okay?
Yeah, I find it okay. But
Yeah.
of course, physically, because I can, take the hand, put it in a
Right.
place, or sometimes, if it's an advanced trick to hold the person, like
Yeah.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
But it is I think it's quite possible, yeah.
I think it's possible. I know some teachers hate it. I think it's definitely harder for tricks classes. So I have two types of classes that I teach online. I've got conditioning, and then I've got tricks and choreo and stuff like this. For conditioning, it's fairly easy because with my conditioning classes, it's a follow along style class. So they get their different options. They get to choose which option they're going to do. We do it together. Then we move on to another exercise. They get a load of different options. With tricks, it's a little bit harder because obviously you need to kind of see what they're doing. You need to be able to give them tips and stuff. So what I do is I have like a big TV screen in my Polo area at home where I can put them on the screen. So if they've got their cameras on, I can see what they're doing. Yeah. And I've kind of just gotten used to doing that now. At first it was quite confusing because I couldn't work out which arm they had down and all this, but now I'm like an expert at it. And then for people who do it on catch up, I always just say in the videos, I'm like, if you get stuck on this, record yourself, send it to me, and I'll send you the tips back. And it works really well. I would say if you are very much one of those types of learners that doesn't get on well with online and you need someone to be physically there to move you around and stuff, online won't work for you. It just won't. Like, you need to go to a physical studio. But there are some students who they're quite visual and they can see it and they just understand it. Students like that are smashing it online because they're going to their studio and they're going online. So they're getting all of this knowledge. It's like, I've got some students who are absolutely crazy advanced now because they're doing all of it because it's so much cheaper to do it online, right? So they go to their studio and then they just supplement it with some online stuff. It's crazy. I wish I'd had that when I started because I would have loved that, but it just wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Good for you. Do you see how can you progress it, or what's the future there for you?
I think progress-wise, I kind of like it as it is. It's not that I don't want to progress it. I just feel like it already offers so much. Like we do quite a lot on there. So I feel like to try and progress it might make it, when a business can offer just too much. I don't want it to be that either. I just want to keep offering really good quality instruction. And you want it to still be
personal, right?
Of course. But honestly, at the moment, my main focus is on me and Mitch are opening a business together. So my main focus is on that, which is like a non-pole business. It's like a social media business for small companies. So it's like focusing on that because I'm just super conscious of my age. I'm getting old now. So I'm just like, I know it sounds terrible, but I have this really big like anxiety around like what happens if I get injured? What if I can't teach anymore? And I just needed something to back me up for that. This is a very fair question
because I think not so many people ask that for themselves. You just carry on, but then.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I find like I've never really ever seen someone like injure themselves so badly that they've had to stop and they've lost their whole income stream.
4 years ago, when I had when my hernia in my neck started hurting so much that my arm started being numb, and then the doctor said that's it, now operation, they surgery, all that stuff, and that moment I didn't train for So I didn't do pole for 2.5 years.
But you had income. Sorry, personal question. Feel free.
But
You had
I still
income coming
had,
from here, right?
So I still had the studio and I still had my savings. Not so much. Yeah.
Okay. So I sort of feel like, yeah, in some ways, like for studio owners, it's like, okay, yes, you might not have the same income, but you are going to get some income. It might get you by. Whereas for me, when it's like teaching workshops and stuff, it's like if I've got a full set of workshops and I'm like, right, this is my income. If I then injure myself and I have to cancel all of them, I'm like, fuck, like, what is my income now? And I'm lucky that I have online. I have teachers that cover me online, but people online, they're there for me. And that's not me being big-headed. A lot of them are there for my classes. And whilst they will stick around for a little bit, they're not going to wait around forever if I've really injured myself. They're going to go to someone else, right? Which is absolutely understandable. So that's why I'm always like, right, I need just something just to back me up, just so I can be like, right, I always have this as my backup, but my main passion is always going to be pole. Do you know what I mean? So I have my other business that will give me income, but then I've got this as well. I've invested money over all like the years I've been doing pole. And so again, that's like a bit of income that I get, like passive income. I'm just really paranoid about stuff like that because I'm just like...
No, but this is a fair one because this happened to me. I was sitting there thinking like, so if I cannot perform and teach pole, what do I do?
What do you do? Yeah, exactly.
Who am I? But luckily also because I'm also doing stretching and then I carried on like teaching stuff that I don't have to like physically do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, you know, sometimes feel like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and this is why as well, like, in some ways, I'm like, well, at least I've got all of this on video as well. So it's like, at least I've got something that I can sell if I ever did. Do you know what I mean?
How much?
I've literally got hundreds of hours of classes. Now, this is the thing. I'm like, so at least I've got stuff that, you know, one day, like, I'll still have my conditioning program on there, even if I'm not doing pole anymore, just because if people want to buy it, they'll be able to. This is also, again, like one of the things that I'm always trying to teach people. I'm like, guys, like, I'm always telling you about it. And I'm like, I always think like with instructors, I'm like, if you've got something that you're passionate about and you've got like a niche, stretching, conditioning, whatever it might be, I'm like, if you haven't got something that you can just have on your website sat there for people to purchase all the time, we're missing an income stream there. So I'm always, this is part of like that whole coaching that I do. I'm always like, guys, like, you've got people following you. If they're following you, they're invested in what you do. So like this is, they're going to want to like train with you, but maybe they can't because they live too far away. So yeah, this is why I'd keep all of the videos because I'm like, you know, one day I can just sell them all and
maybe we'll
go and retire on a beach somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Dan's dictionary. I like that. I'm gonna write that down. Dan's pole dictionary. I actually quite like that. But yeah, so no, I think it's important.
Amazing. What about your page, Polos?
Polos, yeah.
How did tell us a little bit about the history? Because I remember when it just started, also.
Right.
And now it grew into this, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a bit quiet at the moment because I don't like. We still post regularly on it, but I don't do as much on it now as what I used to. It's kind of like my assistant actually mainly looks after it now, but. Polos originally was actually just my page. So it was just all being posted on my page. So my page was like pole videos mixed with memes, mixed with videos of me dressed as a character called Susan. Like, you know, you're just like, it was all these silly videos. And I was like, you know, when you look at someone's timeline, you're like, what's going on here? So I was like, I need to separate them. So I was like, right, I'll separate it and put all the funny stuff over on Polo. So I did that. And yeah, it just exploded. It just went absolutely crazy. I've got like over 150,000 followers on there now. It's just like fail videos, memes.
Yeah, I was featured there too. Huh?
Oh, were you? What was it? Was it a fail?
It was actually, it was during COVID. I was at home recording the video.
Did the pole fall down?
The pole fell down. Yeah. And it was actually the famous video like we did also with Marion Krampe, with like some of the, like when we were like passing the...
Oh, the cloth, yeah. I know, COVID.
Yeah.
Good times.
I know, right? Huh? Yeah, okay.
We've been given our 10-minute time, guys. Like, we're going to answer as many questions as we can in 10 minutes.
We can't stop talking, right?
No.
We're just...
But it can go, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Switch off. It might switch off at 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're going to answer as many questions as we can. We're going to do quick fire questions for 10 minutes.
Guys, by the way, thank you for watching and I hope you're still here with us.
Yay.
do you guys have any questions? Because we have now 10 minutes left. And if you would like to write your question in the comments, so then we have the chance for Dan to answer it. Or even if you don't do this now, we will find him. We will force him to write.
Yes, I'll answer them afterwards. But yeah, if you're here live and you have any questions, type them in now and we'll answer them afterwards. Are there any other questions on here that we didn't go over? There's loads on there. We can't have gone over all of those.
No, there's only just a few left. Actually, I wanted to ask you about Dubai. Like, it was a big shift from UK to Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find it?
Hot. I'm literally hot even now, but like it's just it's great. I actually really like it here. It was a big change for us. So what's so funny is that we originally moved here for Mitch's job. So we moved here because we felt like the career opportunities for Mitch here were really good. The difficulty that we then had was actually the job opportunities here were not quite what he'd expected. So then we ended up deciding to set up a business together.
Really?
So that kind of put us on a different path. But we just like the quality of life here. It's really nice. I like being in the warmth, even though I'm like a sweaty, hot person all the time. It is nice being in a hot country. When you've lived in the UK and you're dealing with rain and cold all the time, it gets a little bit old quite quickly. So yeah, it's nice. I've got a lot of friends like Sarah, who used to come here. Like, she was the first one I remember seeing move here, and I was like, oh, and she was always telling me how amazing it was here, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'll think about it. And then it was the last time I came for a pole cam here. And I was just like, it's changed so much over the years. That when I first ever came here, there was not as much going on here as there is now. And I remember coming the last time for pole retreats. And I then met with Sarah and stuff. And she was telling me all about it. And I was like, it is so cool. I was like, maybe I should just go and see what like places are available.
Yeah.
Let me just, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So yeah, obviously from an online business point of view, it's great for me here as well because of the tax. But it's so funny because I feel like, and I've definitely had the comments. I don't know whether you get these comments as much, but like when I left the UK, I definitely got the comments like, oh, he's just leaving for the tax. I'm like, babes, if you knew how expensive it is to live in Dubai, you would understand that actually, like, we still have taxes here. So for anyone who is watching this that is like, oh, I bet it's for the taxes. Actually, whilst you don't pay personal tax, we still pay taxes here. Like, we have loads of taxes that we have to pay. And actually, it's just, you know, it's expensive to live here. Yeah, they're called fees, exactly. It sounds so much nicer, doesn't it? But yeah, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it's still financially beneficial for sure, but it is not what I think people think. You're just going to turn up here, live this really cheap lifestyle and not pay any tax. I'm like, that's not really how it works.
No.
But yeah,
actually, there's a quite a common saying. It's like you come to Dubai thinking that you're going to save.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, didn't save nothing.
I know,
spend
literally.
All.
Exactly. I'm like, I've not saved anything.
I think this is also the way of living here because it's, you know, so much is available, and then they make it like everything can be delivered, everything can be done.
It's too convenient.
So you just like, oh, whatever, you know, because even
I remember when I first moved here, you were like, oh, get ready to gain the Dubai stone.
Yes.
And I was
Dubai
like,
stone, yeah.
You mean the Dubai like 5 stone? I gained so much weight when I first moved here because it's so overwhelming. You're like,
portions
wow.
much bigger. Everything is
is bigger and better.
Everything
here.
has to be bigger. Everything has to be better.
That's the thing. Like with Dubai, like they want everything to be bigger and better, right? So, and that's the thing is that not only does that translate to like the buildings and the businesses here, but it also translates to the food.
Yes.
The food is amazing. So, you know, when you're like, oh, like it's fine.
So much
like,
variety, right? You have absolutely any cuisine in the world, okay?
You know what, actually, one hilarious thing that I always say, and I always find this really, really funny. So in the UK, we do have Indian food, right? Yeah. But it's cooked for British people, whereas the Indian food here is cooked by proper Indians. So now, whenever
you can actually go to those shops that are like off the road, you know, that
it's proper Indian food.
Proper. It's like you go in, it's like you're in India, right? And then it's authentic.
Yeah. But an authentic means that when they say it's medium spicy, it's going to blow your fucking head off. Oh my God. I remember being like, so at home, I'd be like, yeah, I'll have medium spice, no problem. So I tried medium spice at a curry house and I was like, oh my God, like, no way. It was so hot. So yeah, I learned a lot about the random little things like that will catch you out. But I love how multicultural it is here. just people from everywhere, isn't there? And
Yeah,
I really like that.
I love
So
that.
yeah, it's really cool. It's such a cool place, and I'm really enjoying my time here. I don't know whether I'll spend like the rest of my life here, but for now it's like awesome. I'm loving it. But I think life is too short to spend it in one country.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's like travel around, right? So yeah, I'm loving it for now. The heat is intense.
Yeah.
But I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
For me, until now, it's like, yes, it is hot, but minus 20.
Cool, so you Siberia?
No, so I'm from city called Rostov on Don, which is on the south.
Okay.
It doesn't get as cold, but still it gets to minus 10.
Yeah.
And it gets, to be honest, sometimes minus 10 with the sun and snow better than most of the time that we have wind. You know, it will snow, then it will become ice, and then you have an ice skating everywhere, falling, you know, in splits.
But this is the thing as well, like
wind,
in the UK,
you know, all the time, and you're like, oh my god. And then I'm like, I'd rather sit in the AC, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like as well, like in the UK, when we get that extreme weather, it's fine, but we're just not prepared for it there. So like, literally, whenever it snows, it's like the whole world stops. People won't go out of their houses. Oh no, I can't drive. The roads are unsafe. It's like, if you're prepared for it, it's fine.
But we're not prepared either.
Yeah. When we have rain, right?
No. I mean, I remember used to. Yes, like it will minus 20. The whole night was snowing. You come outside. I cannot find my car because it's all covered with the snow. But you want it or you don't want it, you must be at work.
Right.
So you have to come earlier. You have to undig your car. Then you have to find 3 people to push your car off to the stream. You know. So it's like. Ready, not ready, we have to go. And for us, it's like kids are still going to school unless it's like extreme, right?
Right.
But if it's still like minus 20, off you go.
Yeah,
you know?
It's crazy. Yes, that's kind of why I'm enjoying like just being in like sun all the time. I'm loving that. That's one of my favorite things about it. It is nice. There's nothing nicer like as well than waking up in the morning and just getting a little bit of sun. Obviously at the moment I don't sit outside for very long, but it is nice. Like my house is like quite well air conditioned. I like it quite cold. But like then I'll just go out in the sun and I'll just sit there just like 5 minutes. Just it's good. Exactly. The vitamin D, right? It makes me feel good and I like that.
And in the morning if you do, this is one of the biohackings, if you expose yourself to the sunlight, even like 5-10 minutes, the first 1 hour, better half an hour.
Yeah.
It actually stabilizes your rhythms for like sleeping, and you know it's actually very, very beneficial for you. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm sleeping so good at the moment then, because literally since moving here, so I thought it was the air conditioning actually, because I like sleeping in a cold room. That always makes me sleep well. But I think I've noticed that my sleep has been so good since being here. Every morning I go out for about 5-10 minutes just into the sun. I just sit there. I just have my breakfast out there and I'm just like, it's just nice. Oh, so that might be why. Yes, I didn't know that.
Yes, because then when the sunlight goes through through your eyes, then it registers that, okay, now it's the time to wake up. So now we're full on. And then starts the production of melatonin on time later on. Yes.
I knew it was like vitamin D, right? You get from
the sun.
So it's good for that. But there you go.
Vitamin
something
D you have
new every
to do
day.
Like half an hour.
Yeah. Oh, half an hour is. Oh, really?
No
oh my god. Could you sit in 43 degrees heat for half an hour? You probably could. Not me. I'm too new here. Like at the moment, I can do about 10 minutes.
Look at me. I'm white. You know, it's like it's actually one of the craziest things. I remember when I moved here, when I went back, they're like, "Oh, why are you not tanned?
I know.
You live in Dubai. You're like." And I work there, you know, I live there. I'm not on vacation. I only get tan when my parents come here or my friends visit, you know, and then we start going out somewhere.
But even then, like, I don't know, I'm still like a little bit conscious of being in the sun too much. I don't want it to age my skin.
Exactly.
So
remember
it's like,
the oldies. But
people just assume because you live in Dubai, like, oh, you're going to be really tan. I'm like,
and you're like, actually.
Like, no, I'm more pink, you know?
Yes.
But
right.
Did we have any questions?
Do we have any questions there?
No. It's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have just the last question for you. So we talked about the pole industry, right? Like when it was, how it changed. What do you think is the future? Where do you think it's going?
Yeah, I don't know, because there was a period where I thought it was going to be like Olympic sport. I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime. It might happen in my lifetime. I don't know whether it will happen in my pole lifetime.
Yeah.
But I reckon maybe in 20 years we might see it in the Olympics. But I don't. We're definitely not going to see it anytime soon. And I kind of like that. I know it sounds really weird, and that sounds so negative, doesn't it? But like, if it goes into the Olympics, fine. But like, I started pole because I really enjoyed the taboo of it. Like, it was different. No one else was doing pole dancing. Like, it was so different, and I liked that. Whereas when something becomes mainstream, it's like, well, everyone's doing it. Like, I was like, no, I just like that it's different. So yeah, I think I kind of hope
the
that
freedom, you know, because when it becomes a professional sport, then it's marking the, you know, it's like there's a formula to create a piece.
All the rules. And
all the rules. Whereas, for example, like I don't know, I personally always preferred pole art competitions because it always left you that freedom of expression. So, of course, there were
even some of the pole art competitions now are having like so many rules in them that they're being restricted as well now. Depends on the pole art competition, I guess. But like, yeah, I think I'd like to see it kind of just stay as it is, like really pushing all the different styles and like making sure that we don't lose any of them, because I feel like there was a period where everyone was trying to push sexy out, and then luckily we had a group of people that were like, no, we're staying, and they've made it like definitely so it's like kind of equal. I just would like to see, I really hope that the community come together a bit more maybe in the future, so that we can continue to grow the industry. But yeah, that's really it. I just hope that it will continue to grow, but with like the mixture of styles and the respect that it deserves around it. But yes, that's where I hope it goes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was such a political answer, but no, it's true. I actually genuinely hope that that's what happens, because I'd hate to see it be sanitized and be like just sports, like, because I feel that would be boring for me.
I know.
So yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks
that
for
was
having me.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
And it was so sweet, and I really enjoyed, and I hope our viewers also enjoyed it. And yes, guys, this will be available on YouTube. And if you couldn't watch all of it, you can always watch it later on our YouTube channel. And yeah, I would like to thank you, Dan. Thank you so much for your time.
And I'll be back to do your one. You can learn about Vlada next.
Maybe you can, send me questions that you'd like me to answer,
I've got loads of questions I can ask you.
God.
Oh yeah, I've got loads of questions I want to ask you for sure. So yeah, I look forward to it.
Okay, so mine will be like 5 hours, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I want to know everything. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. And see you next time for our next episode.
Bye.